So I've had a little bit more time to get familiar with the bike since I picked it up a little while ago. The ride back from Massachusetts when I picked it up was horrible. It was bad in general just because it was so windy and it was cold, and I was on a brand new bike that I never ridden before, so that's never a good situation, and you're fighting the wind the whole time. And it was all interstate riding, which is so monotonous and boring, and I just hate it in general. So it was like the perfect trifecta of suck that didn't really give me a lot of time to get familiar with the bike at all until I got a few days to ride it in non-interstate type settings. And today and a few days before, I had a chance to do some of the roads that I usually do and areas that I usually ride in, get a little bit more of a feel for the bike and how it's different from my 2006 that I had. And I'll have to say I'm thoroughly impressed with this thing. It's just, I can't give it enough props for the way this bike was refined and changed from the last generation to the generation that this one falls in. And it's just so much fun to ride. It's a very much lighter bike than my other one. They shaved a whole ton of weight off it, and not only can you feel it when just pushing the bike around, but when you're riding it, being able to throw the bike into corners is so easy. And not that the other one was hard or anything, so I mean, you take any 600cc class sport bike and you're going to be able to throw it into corners and do all kinds of fun stuff with it, but the level that this thing is on is just incredible, and it's like a Jinsu knife just the way it cuts the corners. And I haven't even really pushed this thing at all yet because it still has the tires on it that when I bought it, so I'm not really too comfortable with those ones that are on it. I want to get a different set, which actually will be here today, and I'm getting them put on tomorrow. And once those are ridden on for a little while and get all the slippery stuff taken off the tires that comes with new ones, I'll be able to push the bike a little bit more, see what it's more capable of. But it's definitely a lot more snappy, has more power at corners unbelievably. I can't believe how good this bike handles, and it sounds better now than the video I first did when I was riding it back. I put a Yoshimura RS5 carbon fiber exhaust on it last night, so this is my first day riding the bike with a new exhaust on. It definitely sounds much better than the stock exhaust, which is way too quiet and heavy, and it's just, I couldn't own a sport bike with a stock exhaust system, so that got changed up pretty quick. It almost makes me wish that I bought this year of bike, either the 2007 or 2008, back when I bought my second 2006, because I feel as though I missed out on some really improved riding over the years with what this bike has. But at that time, the price range that I was looking for, this particular bike would have been out of my price range. So I bought what I was comfortable with and what I knew, and it's still a very good bike. There's nothing, not saying anything bad about it, it's just that anytime you go from something that's a little bit older to something that's obviously newer, and there's been upgrades and revisions made, you notice a huge difference. They did the same thing when I went from my 2007 SCI to my 2016 WRX. It was the same thing. I mean, the 07 SCI is an amazing car, but when you compare it to a brand new WRX, it's just so much more refined and improved that it's the same situation with this. I have just under 300 miles that I've put on the bike since I picked it up, so I'm still getting used to it a little bit. I will say the seating position is a lot different than the 06. and the bike is more narrow in the middle because from what I read, they moved the engine forward a little bit, which made the middle of the bike a little bit more narrow, so I get a lot better reach to the ground with my legs. When I come to stoplights, I can actually get 2 feet down, and even though I can do that now, I still prefer just to put 1 foot down and 1 on the peg. It's just what I'm used to, but it helps because the more control you have, the better. I'm not that tall to begin with, so any advantage I can get in that department, I'll definitely take it. I do have some upgrades planned. Like I said, I already have the exhaust on. It didn't take long to get that changed out. And I plan on doing some red accents on the bike over time. I want to do red levers because right now the levers are still stock and not optimal for how I would like them to be. And I want to do some red brake lines. I don't know if you can see it in the video or not, but the fluid in this reservoir is dirty brown for the brake fluid, and it's supposed to be clear. So the brake fluid is definitely due to be changed, and I figured while I'm doing that, I might as well upgrade the brake lines as well. I like to get some stainless steel red braided lines, and the levers, and they'll pretty much do it as far as stuff that I want to do appearance wise with the bike. I'm not doing anything with the body kit or the graphics kit. The Graffiti Edition is probably the most beautiful bike I have seen that Honda's made. It's just, they did such an amazing job with this bike. And when I first started seeing these bikes online, I always thought that it was black, and that's what I expected when I went to first see the bike, when I went to look at it. And to my surprise, it wasn't black at all. It's more of like a gunmetal gray or a charcoal type color, which I like even more. And it's got this flat, like matte color to it. It doesn't have the shine like a lot of the other paints do, and I just prefer this type of look so much better. And it still has a sparkle effect in the sunlight too. And for being a bike that, you know, it has like a dull color to it, but it just looks so good. It's so different from any of the other bikes that I've had before, with the Red Bull bike, which before was a tribal orange bike, and my 05, which had the red and black paint scheme that Honda offered in 05. I just love how this looks. I get tons of compliments on it, either online or people that know me or people that see pictures of it, and everyone has given real positive reviews and feedback on it. And I definitely wouldn't have gotten the bike if I didn't like how it looked, and I'm thoroughly impressed with how it does look. I couldn't be more happy with it. I think if I had the option of having a brand new CBR with no mileage on it, or having this bike with the current 11,712 on it, I would probably take this bike. That's how much I really do like it. It always makes you feel good when you go to purchase something. You know, you're investing your time and your money into something like this, and you always have those second thoughts of, should I be getting this? Or sometimes you get buyer's remorse after you get something. It's like, oh, I could have really done without this. But I'm so glad I went through with this. And this wasn't actually the first CBR that I contacted someone about. There was a red and black one that was much closer to me, and I sent him a text for the ad that he had on Craigslist, and he had actually sold it right after putting the ad up. So I contacted this particular individual that was selling this one, and it was still available, which surprised me because this bike was located in Connecticut, and anything out of this state seems to always sell much quicker. So I was surprised that this bike was still available. It had been up there for weeks, and he actually had a price $500 higher for a while. I didn't see it at that particular time. I saw what it was priced at, what I bought it for. But it's one of those things where it was right place at the right time, I guess. Sent him a text and he still had it. We discussed some stuff about the bike and about meeting up to see it, and everything went really smooth, and it couldn't have gone any better really as far as getting this, except for the horrible ride back that I had from Massachusetts to bring it back, but I guess if you're gonna have one of those crap rides, it's good to get it out of the way, and hopefully I don't have another one like that for quite a while. So I figured to finish off the rest of this video with a little more up close and personal stuff for the bike for anyone that has not seen an 08 Graffiti, or for those that don't know me personally and haven't seen the bike. But overall it's in incredible shape. I haven't really found any defects or flaws or anything with it. You know, like I said in the beginning of the video, I love the matte look of the paint, how it doesn't really have a shiny look, it's just that flat dull color, and the graphics on this are pretty nice. It's one of those things where you don't really notice it until you get close to the bike and really start to look at everything on it, all the different designs and everything, and the tan graphics, and it all just looks so good on it. And the new Yoshimura exhaust that I put on just last night. I think the silver pipe is a good contrast with the darker colors on the bike overall. As far as overall quality, as far as how the bike looks, I give it like a 9 out of a 10. There's no scuff marks or big scrapes or anything like that. It was missing 2 fairing bolts that I replaced. I had a few extra ones laying around. Other than that, there is nothing that this bike needs as far as being fixed or anything like that. It does need the new brake line fluid, which I'll have put in once I get the lines and everything done, but it'll probably be a few weeks from now. But there's a close look at the bike. I know doing the videos you don't really get to see the bike a whole lot, or my other one for that fact either. And for anyone that didn't watch my other video for whether I kept the other CBR, so far I have. It's for sale though, so I'm hoping I sell it soon. We'll see though. Nice bike, I really liked it a lot, but it was time to move on to something different. And the 08 is definitely an upgrade from what I'm used to. I'm really happy with it. I definitely have a lot more stuff planned in the next few weeks, so I'll see everyone later on. Later.